Stardew Valley, a cozy farm RPG that released back in the year 2016, almost 9 whole years ago. I was a 20-year-old boy trying to figure stuff out. I was still living at home with my parents, not knowing what the next path was. But if we fast forward to today, I am now a 30-year-old man with my own family and my very own community, you guys. Stardew Valley has grew with me and all of you, and it has been a part of our lives for almost a decade. And after all of these years, it still remains one of my all-time favourite games that I have ever had the pleasure to play. I have tried to find the next best thing in the last 5 years, but we can all agree we all just end up coming back to Stardew Valley. Nothing's ever compared or come close. Some have succeeded in their own way, but many have failed. But the main thing is nothing has ever took over Stardew Valley. It still remains the king of farming RPGs. But today we do mark a new year, which means more upcoming games that are similar to Stardew Valley. These are the closest games I could find, potentially ones that could give us that same feeling that Stardew Valley did. So let's start off with number 8 and work our way down to the number 1 spot. And in the 8th spot, we have a game called Pixel Shire. Now, I have had the pleasure to play this. I think we played some kind of demo, alpha version, maybe over a year ago now. But this game is releasing sometime this year in 2025. So like I mentioned, all of these games on the list are pixel games, and they are also classed as a farming sim or life sim, so they do fit that category. But Pixel Shire is a game where you get to build up your own town. You can grow your own community in a very unique RPG sandbox style, which also mixes the live sim elements, from the town building to exploration and even combat. You can express yourself by planning the town to your liking. You can master trades, get to know the neighbours, and explore the continent of Arcadia. You can forge friendships in Pixelshire that go beyond just company, so these friends can actually become your allies. They can come on your adventures with you, and they can lend a helping hand to gather resources or completing tasks, because there is a feature called Follow Me, which makes the game so much more enjoyable and immersive. But also you get to shape Pixelshire's land the way you want with unique terraforming features. You can carve rivers or create beautiful hills wherever you please. You can craft a landscape that reflects your imagination. And with the ability to build and place houses for your residents, you have the opportunity to design every corner of Pixelshire to reflect the personality and preferences of its inhabitants. When we played this game, I did a live stream of this. You can find it in the link below or by clicking the little I button in the top right. We checked this out for the first ever time and it went down well. A lot of people really enjoyed it, including myself, but I'm super excited to get my hands on this game and give it another go. This game seems too good to be true. It has everything. The game looks amazing and it seems like it's got so many features that we all want in a farm and life sim. But let's move on to the next one on the list, and this one is called Seeds of Calamity. No official date just yet, but it is coming soon. Could be this year, could be next, who knows? We don't actually know what coming soon means on Steam. But again, another pixel game, Seeds of Calamity. You can actually play the demo version of this on Steam, which I often tend to avoid. I don't really like playing demo versions because more often than not, you do get a very, very watered down version of the game. It doesn't really sell it very well. But Seeds of Calamity, basically, you can grow crops and raise animals to establish your farm from an overgrown field into a thriving wonderland. You can delve deep into dungeons, teaming with monsters to gather resources and test your mettle against elite bosses. So it's almost like a turn-based combat system to Seeds of Calamity, which is super unique and cool. You can help the local villagers by returning lost family heirlooms, competing in cooking competitions, and even catching fish for the tavern cat. And once your farm has been tended to, you can explore the world to discover hidden treasures, catch rare fish, and gather valuable resources. You basically get to live your farming fantasy life. You can study magic, explore ancient dungeons, help the locals and neighbours, grow with your spellbook companion, and become a part of the Great Recovery. Another pixel farming life sim similar to Stardew Valley that kind of looks very similar, hopefully plays similar too, but does have its unique differences, which I do like to see in upcoming games. You know, they can't just be a copy clone of Stardew Valley. They do have to have their own unique elements to the game, you know, their unique selling point. But I saw this one and it looks very promising, super excited to give it a go. Like I said, there is a demo version. I'm avoiding it because I just want to wait till the game releases. I don't like demos personally. Time will tell, but now we're going to move on. And this game is called Hooked. This is still to be announced, this is very early in development, and there's actually not a lot about this game that you can find, not much information, there's not even a trailer that we can look at, only screenshots. But I have been following the developer. He's actually got a YouTube channel. He's done a few devlogs, but the game just looks really cozy to me. And just from the style alone and the way the game's described, I feel like I would like this one. But in a world consumed by technology and the fast pace of modern life, it's easy to lose sight of the simple things that make life worth living. But for those who seek a simpler existence, there is a quaint town nestled in the heart of nature. With nothing but a small patch of land, a humble abode, and a burning passion for fishing, you set out to build a thriving business that will not only sustain you but also benefits the entire community in the quiet corner of the world, which seems full of opportunities. And as you leave behind the bright lights of the city and arrive in Rosewood, you'll quickly realise that there's more to this peaceful town than meets the eye. Explore the beautiful surroundings, from the serene pond near your cabin to the sleepy town, the mysterious forest, the glistening beach, and more. Each place holds exciting new opportunities, and as you progress you'll meet fascinating characters, each with their own stories and personalities. You'll be able to build lasting relationships, trade goods, share experiences, and even fall in love. Some will become lifelong friends, while others will challenge you in unexpected ways. And as the seasons change, you'll need to adapt to the weather and conditions, honing your skills along the way. You'll have a chance to grow crops, raise animals, venture out to the sea, and build a successful enterprise that rivals even the biggest corporations in the city. The path ahead is not straight and narrow, it's filled with twists and turns that will keep you engaged and on your toes. So making the right decisions and managing your resources is up to you, and is what will ultimately determine your success. So this is more of a farming life sim that is focused more on fishing. Like I said, you don't really get to see much of it right now, but the game does sound and look super cozy. Pixel design is stunning, I love the lighting, the animals and the chickens look so adorable. Definitely interested to give this a go, no idea how it's gonna go, but hopefully when it does release, we do get a very nice cozy farm game. But next on the list, we've got to move on. And this is called Sun-Kissed City. This game is releasing sometime this year, and like I said, I did mention this in a previous video. So for the people who don't know, the developer of Sun-Kissed City, Mr. Podunkian, actually worked alongside Eric Barone in Stardew Valley. He helped with some of the updates, especially the Ginger Island update. He did have a lot of input and worked closely with him to help Stardew Valley with these updates. He was a part of the team for a couple of years, he had a lot of experience with Stardew Valley, and he is now moving on to creating and designing his own game, which we have got here, Sun-Kissed City. This is a cozy life sim set in an upbeat, sun-kissed seaside metropolis, and it's full of funky vibes and quirky characters. You can stake out your new life in the city, tending to DIY gardens, learning new skills, and making lifelong friends and helping bring life back to this once vibrant streets. I won't get too much into this game because it's literally featured on my last video, so if you want to see more about Sun-Kissed City, go back and watch that one, and you can see the trailer broken down, and I've explained the game a lot more into detail. But I'm super excited about this one, mainly because obviously the developer has worked on Stardew Valley, so he's got his very own personal touch, his creativity, his experience from Stardew Valley. I can just feel already it's getting put into this game. Just visually, the game looks very similar. The animations and stuff like that. It almost does feel like we're getting another Stardew Valley game with this one, just like a more updated version. This is probably one of the closest games to Stardew Valley that we're going to have, other than maybe another one on the list that we'll get to soon. And what I like about this game as well is it's not more countryside focused like Stardew Valley was. You know, you're not up in the countryside in a small little village called Pelican Town where it's just farms and fields and forests. This game, you're actually in a city, a metropolis, which is set by the seaside. So you get to literally go into a thriving, busy city with other people around, lots of shops and supermarkets, and traffic and cars and things like that. It just looks busy and lively, so it's a complete different aspect of a farming sim. It does feel more like a life sim, lots of people, it's more busy, but you still do get to take care of these like cozy elements of farming and fishing and stuff like that, which is always nice to have. This is like if Stardew Valley had the city update, the Zuzu City. This is what I feel like this could be, like an extension of that, which is super excited. It almost feels like a Stardew Valley mod. But this is releasing sometime this year, no official date, just keeping my eyes peeled. I was super gassed to give this one a go. But next up on the list, I have discovered this game recently called Kyora. This game is coming soon with no official date, could be this year, could be next, who knows. From the creators of a multi-award winning mining sandbox Core Keeper comes a brand new mystical multiplayer adventure. Super exciting. You can cross into a realm of ruins where every pixel is a tool to create something new, mine precious resources, craft physics altering wands, take on powerful bosses and build your base by terraforming the world around you. Journey into the unexpected in a procedurally generated open world. Carve into the earth or sculpt toward the sky in search of magical materials. Craft matter manipulating wands, upgrade your gear and take on powerful bosses in control of each biome. You can let loose your sandbox creativity with the pixel by pixel terraforming, build bridges to new areas, sculpt and customize dream bases with terrapixel materials, or even just use your terraforming powers mid-battle to construct platforms to use as cover. The world of Kyora is filled with secrets. The further you venture, the more dangers await. In order to survive Kyora's forest-cloaked ruins and cross its blistering desert sands, you're going to need to use each biome's resources to your advantage. Gather materials, forge powerful weapons and armor, plant seeds and cook up recipes to help you traverse the wilds. It's dangerous to go alone though, so why not bring some buddies with you to combine skills, creating fun synergies between wand abilities in an up to 8-player online co-op gameplay. It sounds super exciting. If you're a fan of Stardew Valley, but more of a fan of Terraria, then you are going to love this one. And I had to just include it. I know it's not too similar to Stardew Valley, it's the only one on the list that isn't, but I just wanted to let this game be brought to light, bring it to your guys' attention, because I do believe this one's going to be a super fun one, especially if you're going to play with some friends online. So this is more of an open world survival sandbox crafting game, with some cozy elements like fishing and planting crops and stuff like that. Next up on the list, something very similar to Stardew Valley, and was quite controversial for some time, Super Zoo Story. Now I believe this is estimated to release in June 2026, so we've got some time to wait for this one. I don't think it's releasing this year, it's not quite ready yet, but for the entirety of your childhood you've spent your time alongside animals. Your father was the owner of an old island zoo that after his passing was left to ruin. In an effort to save the legacy of your family and the animals within, you took on the responsibility, and now it's up to you to create your own Super Zoo Story. You can build different enclosures for your animals and decorate them with tons of cosmetic items that you will have a chance to create yourself or purchase at the market. You can help the local residents to rebuild and update a local oceanarium and populate it with lots of different species. There is over 70 different animal types, which include exotic animals and dinos, and each animal type in the game poses unique characteristics, appearances and requirements to their habitat, so you got to ensure you provide the best care for them, pay attention to their needs, feed them, provide medical help when needed, do everything in order to keep them happy. You can even go out and explore caves and other points of interest in order to find new animal species or dinosaur remains. The island will have over 40 different characters that you can meet, and each of them will perform their own tasks and live their own lives. You can build relationships with them, become friends, or maybe even create a family with one of them. Now I'm super excited about this game, first of all, because not only was I a fan of farming RPGs, the classics, the Harvest Moons growing up as a kid, but I was also a massive fan of Zoo Tycoon, where you build your own zoo, raise animals, look after them, get guests in. Oh my god, I played those games for hours on end, so this is a perfect combination of me. This is like the dream game for me personally. But we will talk about the controversial points of this game. When it first got announced, a lot of people, including myself, we noticed that the game was very, very similar to Stardew Valley, almost too similar. Visually, the pixel designs, the sprites, everything just looked like a Stardew Valley mod, or almost like Stardew Valley, to the point where people were getting confused, and they got a lot of criticism. But the devs listened. They did listen. They said, you know what, yes, we take this on board, we know the game looks similar, so they're going to basically redesign the pixel art from the ground up, and there we are today. They have changed a lot in the game, although it still does look similar to Stardew Valley, but it's a pixel game. I'm definitely intrigued by it. At one point I did basically say I was never going to play this game because I just feel like it's just Stardew Valley. It wouldn't be fair on the developer, especially me as a Stardew Valley content creator. But I'm willing to give this a go now that they've changed things up. But we still have some time to wait on this one, so more could change. But now we are going to move on to the final two. You guys probably know which ones these are because they are massive. Witchbrook, the game that got announced like...
It's been 84 years.
Oh my goodness, so it was actually in 2018, guys. 2 years after Stardew Valley, Witchbrook was announced. Yeah, it's 2025. 7 years ago, we still haven't got the game yet, and it still says coming soon. Who knows when that is? Who knows? When is this game coming? I don't know. But if you don't know what Witchbrook is, let's actually talk about it. A lot of people was calling this basically like a combination of Harry Potter and Stardew Valley. You basically embark on a magical coming-of-age adventure. You enroll as a witch in training at Witchbrook College. You can journey from the familiar to the fantastical as you learn to harness the magic around you in a detailed life sim and social RPG. Embrace your magical roots by stepping into your ancestors' role of resident to the bustling seaside town of Mossport. You can jump on your broom and immerse yourself in a world full of wonder and charm, discovering long-last secrets, spells and spirits. You can make friends, find love, help with others to live their dreams as you travel together on the road to graduation. Because you've got to develop your magical abilities by attending classes, completing assignments and earning badges at Witchbrook College. Practice your new skills by putting them to the test, using your magic all over the town. Master magical arts, brew potions, challenge fellow classmates to a broom race, forage for strange mushrooms, and harness your botany. Know how to grow all sorts of fauna and flora. Make friends and go on romantic dates with a colourful cast of characters. Unravel their unique stories, hopes and dreams as you spend more time with each of your fellow classmates. You can shape their lives, work together, and find romance. Express your unique aesthetic with customisable clothing, hair and accessories. Renovate your cozy woodland cottage how you see fit and transform the surrounding garden into a thriving habitat for plants and wildlife. There is more to life than just your witch studies though. You can spend your free time by doing activities such as photography and gardening, or you can shop until you drop at the Mossport's many boutiques, cafes and seasonal markets. Take to the skies on your broom and hand deliver requested homemade goods to your neighbours. This game just sounds too good to be true, and the fact that it's been 7 years and I don't even think we've really seen any gameplay for this, but it seems to have everything. It's like a perfect game for me personally as well. I'm a big fan of Harry Potter and also farming life sims. So to be able to play a game where you basically are a witch student and you're learning magic, going to classes, hanging out with your friends, socializing. It just sounds so good and I really want to play it. I feel like this game is going to be huge. It's going to be the next best thing. I'd rather them take their time and release a game that is perfect, exactly how they've described, and living up to, the anticipation and the hype, rather than releasing this, let's say, a couple of years ago and we got half of the stuff they promised and it was just a little bit So I kind of see why it's taking so long, because this game seems massive. The scale of this game is absolutely huge, so I can imagine how long it's taken. Stick around on the channel because any news we get on Witchbrook I will be posting, because this is going to be a game that I'm going to put a lot of hours into myself. But next up on the list is massive. Haunted Chocolatier. The actual next game that the Stardew Valley developer himself is making, the second edition to his game development. We all know about this, we all want to play it, and of course this is similar to Stardew Valley because it's the same developer. Apparently the game is set in the same universe, the same world as Stardew Valley, so you're going to see a lot of similarities, maybe a lot of references. There's no official release date. My prediction is maybe towards the end of 2026, like a Q4 2026. That's like earliest though. If not, it's probably going to be 2027 unfortunately. This game has got a few years away. Of course it's been on hold for basically the whole of last year, 2024, because of the Stardew Valley update, the recent one that we've just had. It's only now that development has continued with Haunted Chocolatier and progress is being made, but it's still a long way away. Even Concerned Ape himself announced that, it might sadden people, but the game's a long way away off. He doesn't want to rush and put out something that's not finished. He wants to take his time, just like he did with Stardew Valley. He wants to create that kind of game for us all. So yeah, anything that we do see, even the trailer and the gameplay, a lot of this might change. This is not going to be the full thing that we're seeing. Things will change and just get better over time. The more time that Concerned Ape spends on developing this game, the better it will be. It's going to be more of a like shop sim / life sim. There's going to be really no farming in it. You can forage and do things like that, but the main job and your main focus is owning and running a chocolatier. So you'll be crafting and cooking chocolate, baking it and selling it to the people. The world does feel and it looks like it's set in some kind of wintry frozen town that stays cold and snowy all year round. Every time we've seen screenshots or trailers of the actual town itself and the chocolatier and all the people in the shops, it always seems to be cold and snowy and wintry. We've never really seen any seasonal change with that. But we do get to go through this kind of portal which goes into other worlds and dimensions, which then are different. They are not snowy and cold and frosted, they are actually warm and sunny, and this is where you can forage for your goods. So we're kind of speculating that in order to get all of these unique rare items that you can cook with, you're going to have to go through this portal which takes you to another world that will allow you to gain access to these items. But this game is also more focused on combat. It's more of an RPG, a lot of enemies, a lot of bosses. There's probably going to be dungeons that you can go to. In order to get these super rare cooking ingredients, you're probably going to have to fight off a lot of enemies. But it's definitely a different take on Stardew Valley, even though it's similar. So just don't expect you're going to get a cozy farm game like before. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be completely different. But regardless, it is a game made by Concerned Dave, someone who created Stardew Valley, and we know how good that was. So of course it's going to be amazing regardless. But we've just got to give this time. A lot's going to change. We're going to get the very basic version of the game on release, and then over the years, with all these updates, it will get better and better and better. And I think that's what we expect to see. But I've made many videos talking and going into detail about Haunted Chocolatey. You can find a playlist down below in the description where I've reacted to the trailers and gave you lots of news and information and shown you screenshots and sneak peeks and stuff like that. So if you want to go and find out more, click on them. So that is the 7 on my list, guys. Let me know down below your favourites. Which one are you most looking forward to out of these 7? Or if there is any that you recommend that I have not included today. Super excited to read the comments on this one. But we have a very, very good promising couple of years ahead of us. These 7 games, in my opinion, are going to be great. And yeah, the closest thing to Stardew Valley I could find. Will they ever take over it and become the next best thing? Who knows? Time will tell. But I am definitely one for trying. Please smash the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you stay safe. And of course, stay cozy.